everyone, it's Seven Bell Canto. I have another book review for you. I just finished the Heir. Oh, let me see if I can get it to show on my a Kindle Paperwhite. Unfortunately, with the Kindle Paperwhite, it's black and white scale, but it's a matte finish, so you can read it like in the sun or at the beach and stuff, which is why I bought it. But you do miss out on the beautiful glossy covers. But I have it here on my other tablet, so you can see the actual cover. And this is the first book in a series called The Kingmakers by Sophie Lark. This is my first work by Sophie Lark, and I can see why she's so popular. It was such a great book. So this one is also a 6-star read for me, so it's going to be probably in my favorites for 2022. I'll probably do like my top 10. So far it's in my top 10 because I've had 2 6 stars. But just a wonderful story. So to preface it, it is I guess new adult would be the right term for the storyline, because the characters are basically college age. Like, it begins with Leo and Anna like in the last month or so of high school, and then it jumps into the summer and the fall of their college year. So Anna and Leo are the children of the mafia. So both of their parents are like the head of their mafias, and they've been raised as basically cousins, although they're not blood cousins. They're like cousins quasi by marriage. So it's a little tricky, but they've basically been friends to lovers since before the plot of the story started. And yeah, so that kind of gets into the very beginning. And then we meet another character, Dean. And Dean is the cousin of Leo, and they're like full legit cousins. So if I remember correctly, Leo's mom is Dean's aunt, and to Dean's father. And Dean lives in Russia. He goes by Dmitri when he's in Russia, and he's sort of a poor little rich boy, so to speak. He fights in underground fight clubs, I guess would be the term, or boxing matches, more like a fight club, I think. And he lives in Moscow with his father, and his father is in the mob, but he's more like, I don't think he's an accountant. He's like, is he an accountant? He does like the business side of the mob. I know that. I don't know if they're called the accountants, or I think they are. Or executives. Maybe he's one of the executives. But anyway, Dean is seen as the heir for his section of the mob because the other leaders didn't have children or didn't have males. And I think you can choose whether to have your mob led by birth order or by gender. So male, I guess, would probably be the number one pick, unfortunately. And so all 3 of them have been chosen to enter into Kingmakers, which is an elite college. I call it a school. It's not really college, I guess, but for college age individuals. That's in like Dubrovnik, Croatia, I believe was the place. It's in Croatia, I think, on an island. I think it was Dubrovnik. I don't want to say like, I keep wanting to say like Dubrovnik, which is Mario, the Makeup by Mario makeup artist, and that's his last name, but it's like Dubrovnik or something. And so the 3 of those individuals, Leo, Anna, and Dean, have all been chosen to go into Kingmakers, which is an elite school. Basically, you learn how to be in the mob, so to speak. For me, it had a lot of, I didn't love like the Harry Potter books when I was growing up. I watched the movies, but I wasn't like a Harry Potter person. But the story reminded me a good bit of like going to Hogwarts and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if that was meant to be sort of a Harry Potter, what's the term? Fan fiction? I don't think it was, but I mean, it's hard to avoid that archetype of, going off to school with enemy and blah, blah, blah. But it kind of had like a Harry Potter vibe for me with the whole going to the school, and it's like a castle and isolated and you can't go home. So maybe it was just me. But our 3 characters are having some issues. So we have Anna and Leo, who are basically both secretly in love with one another. And then we have Dean, who is the cousin of Leo. And Dean is out for vengeance. His family was really torn apart by the marriage of his aunt to Leo's father. And Dean's father has never forgiven that. And Dean's father has a lot of issues. He's been badly burned to the point where it's almost like he's Two-Face from the Batman show. It's like his whole one side is completely burned and mangled, unfortunately, and the other side is, I think Dean called him on the verge of beautiful. So, like, I think of like a Bertolucci, is it Bertolucci? One of those, like, angels, you know, like in the, I don't know what it's called, it's in the Vatican or where it's at, but you know, like those like super masculine, handsome angels that are in artwork from like, I don't know, 15 to 1800s, I guess. I guess that's how I kind of pictured him. And then we have Leo, who's sort of very cocky. He's the star of his basketball team, and he's used to always winning and getting what he wants. And then we have Anna. She's also the daughter of a mob leader, and she lives with Leo basically as cousins. They live pretty near each other in Chicago. And she's sort of one of those, I don't know, she seems like she has a really nice duality to herself. Her physical features are very demure and sweet and almost angelic or pixie-ish. But she dresses up with very dark makeup with heavy eyeliner, and she has fair skin but powders her skin even lighter, and wears dark lipstick and wears like black ballerina gear. She's not a professional dancer, but she's very gifted in dancing, and that's to help her bring her closer to her mother, because her mother was a dancer, and she wants to feel a connection to her mother, even though she knows she's more like her father, but her father's side of a mob, and I think that kind of scares her in a way. And she says in the book, because she's always called out by the men in the novel, why does she wear so much makeup and wear such dark, heavy makeup? And she wears it, I don't know if she described it to someone in words or if she said it to herself, but basically it's her armor, because she knows she looks so like feminine and demure and sweet. She has to do that to make sure no one messes with her. So I thought that was really interesting, and I liked that she's sort of this tortured ballerina in a way. I thought that was an interesting archetype. But there was a lot of drama, and the one thing though was it had that kind of Hogwarts quality, and there was some action, but it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't really a full like mafia novel, so to speak. Like I thought, oh, they're gonna basically have like Hunger Games and do all that stuff and maybe harm one another, but it's kind of just everyday school with classes, and they learn some interesting things, and there was some heavy drama, but it wasn't the type of mafia book I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little more like not, I haven't really watched The Sopranos, but you know, have some like hits going out or something like that. But it's more like people at school and school drama, so that was a little hard to get through. But I love the story, and I love the plot, and I really like the characters. I do hope that there's more. I'm planning on reading more in the series, obviously, because I gave it a 6-star. But I do hope there's more mafia-ness in the story, because there's a lot of, I don't know if this is sometimes when I read the book, it felt like I was reading a sequel to another series. And I don't know if that's true or not, because some of it felt like I should have already known some of these characters, and sort of like how in The Bastard's Betrayal by Katie Robert, that was a spin-off of the O'Malley's. It didn't seem like this was a spin-off of another series. And I kind of went with this book first because I just knew it was really popular by Sophie Lark, and I like the covers. But yeah, it felt sometimes that I should have read something before all this started, and that stuff had a lot of action. I mean, from what I read, there was a kidnapping, and someone was burned alive. There's alcoholism reflected from the horrible things that were happening. So yeah, I wanted a little more drama, and the spice was very good. It was I think I gave it a 4. So it was a like explicit spice, but it didn't really start until like not halfway through the book, but pretty close. There was 2 scenes that were really funny, especially with 2 characters that were they thought they were in the right changing room or like shower room after the gym, but one of them wasn't, and they were just like, F it, I don't care. And then both of them got naked and showered. So that was funny because it was spicy, but it was also kind of like comical, like in The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock, that sort of thing. I think that happened, so that was pretty funny. And there is a love triangle in the story between Dean and Anna and Leo. And now I liked all the characters a lot, but I was sort of team Dean. I really liked the bad guy in the story, and he had a more I liked his backstory a little more. So I'm hoping with the next book, which I think is called The Rebel. I'm not fully sure. And I think that's the romance of Miles and Zoe. And that's the other thing, is there were some other characters in the story like Shay and Zoe and Miles, and I really liked Heirs. I guess his name would be Heirs, sort of like short for Aristotle, I'm guessing. I liked him a lot. And Braun, I liked him. He was the like Dutch mob. That could be interesting because you always hear of the Italian mob and maybe the Irish mob and Russian, but like the Dutch mob, I want to story about that. I didn't know there was like a Dutch mob. I'm sure there's a mob for everyone. I remember in South Carolina, we had a lot of people were getting their cards stolen and credit cards messed up from gas stations from, I think, the Serbian mob like a couple years ago. I'm not sure. I think it was the Serbian mob, and I didn't know there was a Serbian mob, let alone one so big in like Colombia. So that was interesting. But yeah, I really liked Dean a lot more than Leo. I liked his backstory, especially with the father being half burned and his mother abandoned him sort of as a child. And the poor little rich boy in the underground fighting. I thought that was more interesting than Leo. Leo to me was very cocky, which, everyone loves BD energy, but we want it down there and not up here. You know what I mean? We like BD energy where I was going to say where it matters, but that's kind of rude. But there rather than up in here where they're more like acting like a dick, But yes, I love this story. I'll hold up the pretty cover because that one's a lot nicer than my black and white one. I'm assuming that this is Leo on the cover, although I don't know if they have fully do that all the time because Dean is blonde and Leo is, I think, brunette. And I think this model has brown eyes, but you can't really base off the model or the cover. I usually do sort of my basis of how I wanted it. Some other cool things, excuse me, I wanted to mention was this book not only had a great story, but also had a playlist. I thought that was really cool. So as you're reading the story and there's music playing in the scene, you can have like the song and who it's by, and I think you can click it for your Spotify. I read it on my Kindle Paperwhite, so I wasn't clicking the ad. But like if I read it on my cell phone, I think I could probably click it and then it would go and play the song. So that was really cool. And there's also some illustrations. I don't know if I can find them. Well, I don't want to get like in trouble for showing them. They're not bad. Like erotic or whatever. Here's one. Oh, that's cool. Oh, but it's got some illustrations as well. Only like 3, I think, but that was cool. And all my illustrations were in black and white, so this is a little more fun. See them in color. The illustrations were anime, so that was an interesting style choice. Not sure why. But yeah, they were like anime characters for Anna And one person had a tattoo of a giant tiger, and no one in the story I think had a tiger. One person had a dragon tattoo, but this person had a tiger tattoo, and he wasn't even the lead of the story. So interesting. Not sure. They had one of Anna, which was good. It had her like with her black ballet outfit, but the one with the guy looking over the shoulder and a tiger tattoo, no one had a tiger tattoo. One person had a dragon, and that was not a main character, so I'm not sure why they'd have an illustration of them, but either way. Well, everyone, I hope you've had a wonderful day. Thank you for sticking along with me on my review of The Heir by Sophie Lark. I really look forward to reading more in the series. I really thought about jumping right into book 2, but I haven't read a historical in a while, and I kind of am craving one. I think I have one on my Kindle that's fairly short, so I might read that, and then I need to read like The Love Hypothesis or something, because I've once read it and I've owned it for like 2 months, and I need to get it so I can read spoils. That was weird. Well, everyone, I hope you've had a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, as well as comment. And if you've read this book or plan to, let me know in the comments. If you've read other Sophie Lark books, let me know. And if you know if this is a spin-off series of another series, let me know that too. I know she has some other mafia romances, and I might check those out, but I'd like to know if they're a little more mafia, because I really like that part of the Bastard's Betrayal with the whole, the mobs after each other, you have a gun and all that. I don't know. That sounds really bad, but I thought that was interesting. I'd love to have like a romance of like Tony Soprano and Carmela Soprano. I mean, that she didn't really know who was in the mob, if I remember, but I think that's fascinating to know. I don't know. I think that's an interesting life choice. Well, everyone, I hope you have a great day. You can follow me also on Instagram at Southern Bel Canto. I also have TikTok at Southern Bel Canto. I need to be working on it. I have ideas of what I want to do, but I've been so drained lately. I'm sort of on vacation, so when I get back home, I'll try to do some more of that. Everyone, have a great day, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everyone.